Hey guys, welcome to the Whimsical Workshop. It is that time again for our next block of the month, Block Mania Block. Can I say block any more times? Keeping it a surprise, this is the last block in this series. This is block 12. I am super excited. We went all out for this one. So let's get started. Alright, so the theme for this month was international, and they let us use as many colors as we want, which means in my usual fashion I used a zillion colors, and there's a lot of parts to it. But I'm going to go through each of the characters and then show you the block at the end. So the 3 characters in this block are all based on my sister's cats. She has Maine Coon cats, and I will put a picture of the 3 of them here so you can see it. And the one on the left, I believe that one is going to be Duncan McMouser. The one in the middle is Dandy O'Lion. And then the last cat is Navarre Black Wolf. So I took her 3 cats and made each one from a different nationality, and that is our theme for this month. So the first one we're going to do is Duncan, and he is a Scottish cat. At least today he's a Scottish cat. She has had Maine Coons for many years, and every time I go home, Duncan is the one that is just so affectionate with me. He loves laying in my lap and getting loved, and I miss him dearly. I haven't seen him now in quite some time due to the whole pandemic. So it was kind of nice to make this quilt block to kind of in honor of these guys that always are so sweet. But yeah, Duncan's the sweet one. He's the little guy of the 3. He's a scrappy cat. He is just scrappy. So let me get this guy made. I'm going to fast forward through us building him, and then I'll introduce you to the next one. Alright, so let's go ahead and build this guy. Here we go. Here is Duncan. And he has no insert in his ear. I may have to add a little pink insert there. So there we go. There's his little tam. This covers the one ear. There's his little mouth. His nose and eyes. I have to draw his mouth. And of course he gets a bow tie. What other thing would a Scotsman wear above the waist? As you see, I didn't do their whole bodies. Otherwise this guy would also have a kilt. But we didn't do it because these pieces we were getting so many pieces on this block, and it is supposed to be just a 12-inch block. So there we go. There's Mr. Duncan. Alright, so there's Duncan McMouser. Let's move this one off, and we will move on and meet Dandy. Alright, we went all out on Dandy. He is in his sombrero and poncho. Alright, here's his little poncho. And then we've got his little stripes on his poncho. I, again, was trying to simplify where I could. And that meant, tucking his arms under his poncho, keeping the stripes all the same. Sometimes you can overcomplicate things and make them much harder, and they're just as cute simplified. So that is what I did with this guy. And I can see the orange on the side here. That's how I'm using that as my guide to position these little stripes on here. There we go. There he is in his poncho. And now the fun part. It wouldn't be much of a sombrero without some little pom-poms on it. So we're going to peel up his little head here. Position the sombrero underneath. And this is Benartex Color Weave, and I thought it was perfect because it looks like a woven straw hat. I got a little hairy thing sticking there. And then we are ready to add all of our little pom-poms to the hat. I don't know what the correct name would be for these, but I'm calling them pom-poms. And you'll see if this wasn't a 2D thing, the pom-poms would fall into the hat versus hanging off of the edge. So you see here I kind of gradually tapered them in so they look like they're falling off the rim of the hat. And this is the, you can follow the placement drawing exactly. You could get them in the ones you can see in place and just sort of evenly position the rest. It's totally up to you how you put these guys on. But you can see it truly makes it look more like a sombrero and less like a big sun behind his head. Okay, so that would be Mr. Dandy in his international costume. Okay, so let's take Dandy off. I'm going to trim these orange. I'm going to trim the orange details up even with the poncho. And that side looks good. So there's number 2. All right, and the last guy in our international block is going to be Navarre. And Navarre is a cowboy. And for such a simple looking block, he has an awful lot of pieces here. So let's see, first we're going to build the hat with the little ears. All right. So to do the hat, okay, so to build the cowboy hat, we put the back side of the cowboy hat down first. Then we put his hat rim on next. Actually, don't put that on yet. Put the top of the hat on next. Now, Navarre is the office cat. When we go home to see my family, we end up working down in the family room. And he loves the sound of the printer, which my dad and sister don't use all that often. But when I'm there working, it's going off every 5 minutes. So he tends to either lay on the printer or lay next to the printer, or usually on my laptop, and just totally guards the printer and makes sure that it doesn't attack anybody, maybe? I'm not sure what his thing is with printer. I think he's just very suspicious of the printer. So that is Mr. Navarre's story when we go home. And he is just this big, fluffy black rug. I mean, he's just, you pick him up, he just sort of drapes over you. So there's that. Now I'm going to slide this down and build the head. Okay, so there is Navarre. So let's peel him up. And let me show you how this block is going to go together. Before I do that, let's put their mouths on. I don't think they look done till they have a mouth drawn on them. So, alright, here is Dandy. And then finally my sweet Duncan. There we go, there they are. Alright, so let's put these guys together. So here's the background this month. Again, went super simple because these guys are so complex. And we just did a nice 12-inch, half-inch blue background. So first up is Dandy. Then we've got Mr. Navarre. And finally, we have Duncan. There they are. There's my sister's 3 cats. This is our international block. I'm going to scoot this guy over a little. Scoot this guy in a little. There we go. So there is the international block. It has been a blast doing this for this year. It came out of the pandemic and finding different ways to stay in touch with our customers and followers, and I think it's been very, very successful. Each month I did a different animal, and I think they were all super cute. Alright, so now we have all our cats down. Let's just talk real quick about the threads we're going to use to finish the edges. Obviously, I'm going to use black and white like I usually do for anywhere there's black and white. We do have some green for the poncho, some pink for the nose, yellow for the hat, the red for both of those, blue for that. I'm going to do the cat in dark gray just to kind of add some definition and then to do his mouth. That's for Navarre. I've got the brown for the cowboy hat and then the cream for these guys. So the only color I haven't pulled out, I guess, is an orange. So I will grab an orange. But as always, I'll be doing these with the Aurifil 50 weight, except for this guy who's a 40 weight. Shh, don't tell anybody. It will finish all of the edges. And I'll link a video below that shows you all about how to finish the edges and how to do the machine embroidery. All right, so there it is. There are the 3 Amigos, Duncan, Dandy, and Navarre. I hope you've enjoyed watching me create these 3 guys and enjoyed the story behind the cats. As always, we have so much fun doing these. This is month 11, so the next one is the final one for the quilt, which we'll be putting together. All of the previous blocks are available on the website. They are free for the first 2 months they come out, and then they go to a $5 pattern, so you can certainly check them out at the whimsicalworkshop.com. I hope you'll hang in there and join us for the 12th block. I don't know the colors yet, but I do know the theme is travel. So let's see what I can come up with for July. As always, I thank you for watching. Leave a comment below if you have any ideas of other animals I need to add into my menagerie of blocks. And I will see you next month.